Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys we're going to be doing a topic discussion. This is the first time I've actually been able to sit down and do videos for you guys today. Hopefully I can get done a couple more videos today as well. But I have my bag of candy to keep me, it's homemade chocolate candy. It's so delicious. I made this myself actually. So I made that, and I got some water to quench my thirst in between doing videos today. So hopefully I can get a couple more videos in today. But for today's topic, I've been thinking about how I discuss this topic, and it's really hard to discuss this topic because different players have different perspectives on this topic, and that is, what exactly is innovation in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh? This is something that I've heard different people discuss over the course of Yu-Gi-Oh history. Coming from a player who's been in this game for many, many years, has played it competitively, semi-competitively, and just casually, and all different aspects throughout the course of Yu-Gi-Oh history, I've heard all the different sides and all the different camps on what innovation is in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh. I find that there is a gap between what competitive players think is innovative and what a casual player thinks is innovative in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh. And I never personally have been able to find an answer or have anybody answer my question is, what exactly is innovation in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh? Now I've heard many times before, oh, innovation is dead in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, oh, innovation does not exist in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh anymore, etc, etc, etc. Personally, coming from a player, like I said, that's been playing this game for many years on all different levels, I personally believe innovation is still alive and well in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh. Many people out there are going to say, I disagree with you full-heartedly, and that's fine. Everyone has the right to their opinion, and I've always said that. I'm not trying to force my views on you. I always like trying to get my viewers and subscribers to think outside the box. Expand your horizons. Not saying that my perspective is correct, the correct one. I just like trying to think outside the box. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss about it. So let's look at an example of what some people consider innovation in the game and what others do not. And then we'll look at older aspects of innovation, perhaps. The clown engine. Now, as of right now, when I'm making this video, the ban list is not currently out. So the clown engine is still at full power and is being played in multiple decks, be it Stellar Knights, Shaddolls, Necros. I mean, a lot of decks are playing the clown engine right now. People are even playing, Thousand Blades, with the clown engine still, just to have fun. Competitive players would tell you that's innovation. Non-competitive players, I would find now this is coming from personal experience talking to different camps, would say to you that's not innovation, that's just net decking because everybody's just doing the thing that's the best thing. So where's the middle ground at? If you see what I'm trying to go with this, I'm just trying to say is, the competitive group says it's innovative. The non-competitive group just calls it net decking and says, no, that's not innovation. Every time I've asked a question to somebody, what is innovation, like I said earlier, I always get a different answer. And in this video, I'm trying to find a common ground. Now, let me just phrase it to you a different way. The person who first played clowns and Shaddolls, or clowns and Necros, I bet to you they thought that was innovational. Same thing goes for hand artifact trap tricks. Thinking about it this way, the first person that built hand artifact trap tricks was probably thinking, this is innovational. This is something that nobody else is thinking, and I created my own. People pick up on these things. What I'm trying to say here is, if it's good, people will play it, okay? If Nodin was a bad card, just saying, if it was a bad card, then nobody would play it, but it's a good card. Clowns. If clowns weren't a good innovational tech, then people wouldn't play it if it wasn't good. But because it's good and they find ways to utilize it and make, use out of it, it's innovational, I feel like. just my opinion here, but let me go into a little bit further depth. And I apologize if I'm confusing or I seem like I'm rambling. This is a topic that's very hard to discuss and try to find an exact answer. And I mean, I've been thinking about this video for like a week and think about it over and over. Like, I would sit there sometimes when I'm just like eating my food and I'd be like, how can I tackle this question? Because every time I talk to somebody, I feel like the Yu-Gi-Oh community feels like, maybe this is not true, but I feel like as soon as something becomes meta, it's no longer considered innovation. That's what I personally feel like. I feel like every time, because I hear that all the time in the comment sections. Oh, I'm so sick of tired of seeing clowns. Or, oh, I'm so sick and tired of seeing fire and ice hands splashed in everything. Oh, I'm so sick and tired of seeing artifacts splashed in everything. Oh, I'm so sick and tired of seeing Tengu splashed in everything. I'm not joking. Throughout the course of Yu-Gi-Oh history, people try to be innovational. But other people will pick up on it. And as soon as it becomes mainstream, as soon as it becomes main meta, people say, oh, it's no longer innovational. That's what I'm trying to say here, guys. That just seems a little bit odd to me. As soon as something becomes, as soon as other people start doing it because it's a good thing, it's no longer innovational. Is there a line drawn in the sand that I've never discovered? Because everybody feels this way, it feels like. And I personally see that that's not true. And so when I see decks like Hand Artifact Trap Tricks or the Clown Engine, being put in decks, I say that's tech, that's innovational to some extent. Shaddoll's, as of right now, like I said, the ban list is not out yet, but Shaddoll's, Stellar Knights, Necros, Burning Abyss, all these decks that we've been playing for over a year have all developed and changed throughout the course of the last year. Look at them. Shaddoll's are not playing the same way they were from a year ago. Stellar Knights are not playing the same way to some extent as they were a year ago. They're all playing different cards. New cards come out. They try them out to make the deck better. That new cards come out to make, they try them out. Oh, this is a really good engine I can play in the deck. That's innovation. Adapting to what is meta. Adapting to what the goings on and happens in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh. The person that first, a good example here. Let's bring Patrick Hoban into this mess. When Patrick Hoban topped when Patrick Hoban won the North America WCQ back in 2013, I think it was, with Dragon Rulers, he played Vanity's Emptiness in his build to stop other decks. A lot of people back then considered that innovational because you could make a big, strong board with Drago Sack and whatever, you flip up the Vanities, and your opponent's going to go like, well, I can't special summon with my Dragon Rulers, so yeah. But fast forward to a couple months later, after the ban list has happened and a lot of traps have gotten hit and Vanities becomes more prevalent in the meta, people start putting Vanity's Emptiness in multiple decks because it's a really good card. Hence, people say, oh, it's not innovational anymore. They just say it's mainstream, it's main meta. So I'm just trying to find a happy medium in this video, guys, to say, what is innovation? Personally, me as a player, innovation is always happening in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! There's always someone out there that's trying to think of new ways to innovate their main meta deck or deck, overall, to beat other decks, to gain an advantage or a slight advantage over your hard matchups, your tough matchups, your good matchups, to make your bad matchups better and your good matchups more better. People are always trying to innovate in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! To get an edge. I personally do not feel like innovation is dead. You just have to look at it from a different perspective. You have to open your mind and think outside the box about what innovation is and what exactly innovation is, really. I personally feel, like I said, innovation is always happening. I feel like people misconstrued it with net decking and everybody just doing it, so it's no longer innovational. But I'm telling you, the guy that came up with Teledad over in Asia or Japan back in 2000 probably 8, thought to himself, oh, this is a great idea. You know, I will win many duels with this. And then everybody figured out how good Teledad was and everybody picked it up. Same thing goes with hand artifact trap tricks. The first guy that probably built that deck thought it was innovational, but then after a while everybody's like, oh, I'm so sick and tired of this, or oh, I'm so sick and tired of throwing hands and everything. And sitting here as I end this video, I personally feel like I, in my thoughts here as I wrap them up, I know I'm kind of repeating myself. Innovation is still alive in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just how you view it. And different camps in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitive and non-competitive players are going to have different views on this topic completely. From talking to players, this is something that's very true. But I feel like us, as players, have to step back for a second and say, hang on. Is it really true that if something becomes mainstream, that it's no longer innovational? You know? Isn't it something that we all strive for in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! To beat the other decks or to beat the meta? We try to be innovational to beat them. We think of different ways, and sometimes we may have to conform, granted, to what is mainstream, by playing the clowns or whatnot to help us out, but does that mean it's not innovational? Food for thought there. So I apologize if this video was a little bit confusing, but what we're trying to do in this video, guys, is figure out what is innovation in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And is it still alive? Like I said, different players will have different perspectives on this viewpoint, but I personally feel like it's still in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I think it gets construed with other things like net decking and whatnot. Not saying, I'm just trying to say you have to look at how the game's evolved and looks how decks evolve throughout the course of time. Look at just the past year about the top decks that are topping still now before the ban list has come out. And look how much they've changed. Yes, some of them because of the ban list, I understand that, but look how much they've changed compared to when they first came out or once they got their core support. They've completely changed, they've adapted to gain an edge and be better and more consistent at what they do. So, yeah, that's just my thoughts there on innovation, guys. But till next time, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling. I'll see all of you guys next time, and tell me what you think down below about this topic. Seto Kaiba, I'm out of here, guys. Good luck dueling to all of you. Take care, everybody.